Hey everybody, it's 4 in the afternoon, just got home from work a little bit ago. It is a beautiful 98 degrees here in Phoenix, Arizona, so I figured it'd be a good time to get back to doing some more welds on our vertical piece of angle iron here. So get our practice up, show you how easy it is to throw in a few beads, even if it's a little warm outside. Threw up an umbrella. It's nothing fancy. I got an umbrella stabbed down into a jack stand, and I have made it comfortable for what we're doing here. A couple other things I just wanted to point out. I had mentioned in the first video we want to get somewhere for our rods. Pay attention where we're throwing our rods. I have brought this little stub bucket I welded up years ago at a sawmill that had a bunch of sheet metal laying around. This one's dumb, heavy. It's a dumb stub bucket. But you can come up on a metal can, an empty welding rod can, or a small metal bucket and use this stub bucket. Definitely recommend getting something like that so you can keep track of your rods and keep your work areas tidy, because that's a big deal. Next thing I brought here, nothing special. Nothing special. It's just a bucket. Don't have to spend a shit ton of money on anything. Everybody needs a tool bucket. We've got our $13 hood up in there. I just happen to have my cap up in there. We got our grinder, we got our chipping hammer, and a wire wheel. This is all we need for the basics of practicing the stick welding, alright? Make sure you have all that on hand. Get yourself a cheap bucket. I mean, look. This was just a free bucket I got from a supplier. Works great, holds all my stuff. We could get even more in there. Our stinger, our ground, everything can get shoved in there. So, get you guys a tool bucket. And tool up. Today we're going to use the grinder with a wire wheel to clean up instead of the little wire brush, because tooling up makes things quicker, more efficient. Alright, so no wire brush today. I used the Leatherman as a chipping hammer in the last video. That part of the video got deleted where I was explaining why, and that was just to show you that you can chip slag with whatever you have on you. You don't have to run out and spend $40 or whatever I spent on that chipping hammer, I don't know, 15 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that. I bought that chipping hammer. It's been a great chipping hammer. But you don't have to. You can get anything. I use my Leatherman, just the pliers. You can get yourself needle nose pliers out of your garage, from your grandpa, from your neighbor, whatever. You can use a piece of metal, something strong, that'll knock off slag. Anything you can think of. But today we're using wire wheel. The other thing we're going to do today is we are going to take the clamp off here. We're going to tack this. We're actually going to tack this to the back of the trailer. That way there's less crap in the way. And then I'm just going to give you some other tips and tricks as we go. We're just going to run 3 beads. We're going to finish off our 3rd bead that we had started the other day, and then do our 3 bead cover and call it a day. 3 beads of practice. It's hot as shit. Not as hot as it's going to be, but it's nice. Got plenty of time in the day left. We're going to get some practice in, because we want to be a welder. We want to make some fat ass money. We want that 6-figure money. You got to weld out in the heat to get it. Alright? So, let me get set up and we'll get rolling. Alright, y'all. Before we get rolling, I wanted to do a quick little shout out and like a heartfelt thank you. This showed up a couple days ago in the mail. I had found out while I was running that program over at RSI/Tulsa Welding School down here in Phoenix. When I was out in Florida checking out another campus of theirs, the guys there told me that if you reach out to them, let them know you work for a welding school, that they would hook you up with a free welding hood. I don't believe much in that kind of stuff happening, people just sending you out free hoods or anything, but when I got back to Arizona, I told all my instructors about it. I said, hey, reach out, try this, because all the instructors there showed me their hoods, said they got them for free. That Pipeliners Cloud hooks up people that are in the welding education field. And so I wanted to say thank you, because they actually do it. Like, they're not lying. They actually send that shit out. And on their site is a $250 hood. And they still sent that thing out for free. It didn't cost me a thing. Just an email and a picture of my school badge proving that I worked there. And yeah, it took a few months, but I got a $250 hood for free from those guys. They actually back up the welding game. They want people to have their products out there that real recognize real. Like, I believe that with them. pretty kick-ass. Just wanted to say thank you. Super awesome hood. Got the green corn soak with the hot pink top. That stood out the most to me. Flip up, most definitely. I believe in having the flip up. So I know we're supposed to be welding with the $13 hood today, but we're gonna rock this slick ass thing. All right, and thanks again, Pipeliners Cloud. This thing's awesome. I know I no longer work at the school. You guys hooked up a dude who's not gonna be in front of 300 students like you thought, but I've already gotten more views on these couple videos than I would have from those 300 students. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now I just got to figure out how to get them hookups on that umbrella. I mean, that Walmart special is working, but oh yeah, this hood is. Oh yeah, that's gonna work good. That's gonna work good. All right, so like I said, we're gonna tack this thing up there today. Keep the clamp out of the way. Flip up, be safe. All right, so what I did right there was just grind off some paint, so that way it welds better. You get a little bit of a ground off of it, off of this one, and off me clamping that piece to that, and we're just gonna throw a little tack on the back side. We're just gonna use a rod stud to do this. See how that's not down to the numbers, man? We can keep burning that. We can keep doing things with that. We're still using our little cheese dick stinger. It came with the Pulu. We haven't stepped up our game anywhere here, all right? We're still running a $57 after-tax Pulu that came from Amazon. All right, nothing special, just a little tack. Ooh, look at that. I missed the stub bucket, but you get the point. All right, so now I'm gonna just grind me up a little spot back here. And that's now just a spot. That's just a spot for my ground. Now the ground, nothing has to be in the way. We're just clamped up. We're ready to go. Wire wheel. This is just much more efficient. I love it. Okay, real quick, I brought this out. This is just a little like Bessie clamp, little adjustable C-clamp thing. I get these from Harbor Freight. Love them. I have a ton of them. They get used everywhere I can. If I was trying to get a little more sturdied up and better at welding and not so shaky, I would set something up like this. Look, I can rest on it. I can post up, my hand's steady. It gives you a steadier place to be. You can do that with anything. That's exactly how I'm going to use that one. You could do it, quite honestly, the same thing. This, you just got to get creative. But it's not wrong. It's not wrong in any way, shape, or form to set yourself up to be more comfortable. This is all about being comfortable, being steady. Some people say the ABCs of welding, always be comfortable. I agree with that. It's very true. Get comfortable before you start that bead. The more comfortable you are before you start the bead, just guarantees smoother runnings, better outcomes. So look at this. This is going to steady me out. I'm going to post up right here. My arm's going to be able to rest. This is my weld arm. This is my guide arm. This just steadies me up. All right. This one, it's nice to be posted up when I'm out in the field or doing something in a facility or anywhere. There might be a piece of pipe here or something, an I-beam, conduit, something. But there's always usually something to lean up on. And when there isn't, you either get something, like a clamp or something. You might even tack something up just to make yourself more comfortable. So don't shy away from trying to make things better for yourself. 332 7018 is what we're going to be running till we're good, and then you can step your game up to 8 in different sizes or whatever, but just get good with 332 7018 uphill at first and then move on. Play with one size, get efficient, then start playing with something else. All right. Too many people, especially at that welding school I was just at, want to jump to just run an 1/8 inch. They want to jump to the advanced stuff way too quick, and I think it's dumb. 332 7018 is where it's at in the beginning for when you're wanting to learn, especially on thin shit. All right, so like I said, we're going to do a 3-bead cover over this, but I've got to finish that one out. All right, we're going to take that one out the rest of the way and then boogie on. Now remember, this thing starts up colder than like a good machine. So if you're used to running on a nice Lincoln SA250 or 200 or 300D, any of the nice machines, any of the plug-ins, anything that's efficient or 220 powered and up, they start hot. You have to remember with this little Pugu Art 135 Pro right here, it starts a little cold. So here in the beginnings with this, the budget way of learning, you're gonna have to long arc it just a little bit. That long arc is gonna create just a little bit more heat and get that thing started. All right, so you get that's one downfall of doing this the budget way, is this thing don't hit hot like the other machines, like the real machines out there. But this can teach you everything as far as getting good enough to run and getting in the game. All right. A little bit of a long arc here to get this thing started. It is cold, don't get it twisted. And I just have it at 100 amps right now where the machine starts, but we can definitely change that up. Man, this runs pretty good at 100 amps. Starts just cold. Alright, we still got half a bead there, so we are going to burn that. Get that wire wheel, clean it up. Alright, that's what the 2 beads look like right there. Not the greatest. We got to work on our consistency and staying straight, right? Got to work on our striking up. This thing strikes cold, but now we are going to turn up just a little bit, and we're going to do 3 beads over that. See how long it takes and just roll with it. Let's go. All right, I'll turn the whittle machine up to 111. Let's see how hot that goes. We're just going to run. We're just going to hit this. We're going to run at it, do our 3-bead cover. See if we blow a breaker, hit a duty cycle. I don't think we're gonna hit the duty cycle, but that breaker worries me. All right, here we go. When you're restarting an old rod, break that old slag off the tip and get just the bare metal showing. It's just easier, gets it to where you're back to the striking instead of slamming to get an arc started. All right, remember we're going 1, 2, 3 over this. Remember, we're just running stringers. Alright? We're not trying to weave. We want to get consistent on running straight lines. With these structural type welds, you got to get to where you can just run a straight line consistently. Don't worry about all the other fancy shit. Run a straight line, single bead, nice little stringer. Rod in the stub cam. It's perfect. That's how it works. For you newbies, get in here. Ship that shit out of there. You want to see what you're doing. As you get more experience, you might leave the slag on and just be scooping down in, looping down in and restarting and going. But man, you newbies, get in there and see what the hell you're doing. Take a look. Eyeballs. Breaker kicked, yo. The breaker kicked. Son of a gun. Alright, well, by the way the slag's coming off, that 111 is where it's at. So that blew the breaker kind of quick, so. Alright, let's go for that. Oh, that rod's no good. That rod is no good. Check that flux. This rod was missing flux right here, so that would have, I mean, you'd have got just a little bit of weld, and then it would have jacked up. You're going to get porosity. Check your rods. And then I always bend them when you find a bad one. That way nobody grabs it thinking it was a good one. Alright, let's go for that second feed. And remember, you want to be trying to stay consistent. We're aiming for covering half of that first bead we just laid down. Most of that bead that's up underneath there on the left side. That way we cover all of that bead and then half of this bead on the next one. And we're just going to work on getting more and more consistent. Alright, it's going to be the last speed. Last speed. then you should just be keeping it nice and consistent here. Nice size puddle. Should be tying into the left side of that angle there, covering the entire bead underneath, or at least what was showing of it. And then tying into the halfway point of your previous bead. Nice, smooth, flat. Didn't really have to do any weeding unless you got inconsistent on your previous bead. I got a little fin on it up here on the top, so I'm having to drag my puddle over to the right just a little bit to take it to the center of that previous bead. Just a little. But that's just paying attention and knowing how to manipulate my puddle without doing any craziness, alright? Alright, there it is. That's our third bead. Alright, y'all, this is what we got today. We got our 3-bead cover, half over half, over half, whatever, all the way, top and bottom. Doesn't take long, alright? We did a little bullshit baby tack back here just to hold it on. We got a clamp on here, just giving us something to lean against, hold our arm up against. We're still using the old Poo-Woo 135 jack stand. Bullshit Walmart fucking umbrella, y'all. Ain't nothing special. We gotta get one of them pipeliners clouds up in this motherfucker though, you know? A little more coverage. We got a box of rod, a grinding disc, a fucking grinder, which you guys don't have to have a Milwaukee cordless grinder. Go get you a cheap ass grinder, a cheap ass chipping hammer, a bucket to keep your stuff in. There's that $13 welding hood. Stub bucket. And for anybody telling you you need more to get going and to get practicing, or you need to sign up for school, or oh, you need to spend all this money, they're lying. You don't have to. The greatest thing that you can do would be go get a job as a fucking helper right now and start learning, paying attention to what the guys that know what they're doing are doing. That's the best way to get in this game. Don't pay anybody to do it. Get a job as a helper. Straight up. That's the way to do it. And if you want to just start getting the upper hand, buy this shit I'm showing you right now. Follow me along. We'll get you to where you're welding. Alright? We'll get you to where you're striking an arc and you look better than the dipshits who didn't do anything before trying to get into this fucking trade. Alright? Well done. Keep the fucking hood down. Burn some rod. Save your cash. Burn rod. Get good. This game ain't that fucking hard to get into, alright? Just put in the work, some dedication, and this basic, like this basic bullshit setup. I mean, yeah, I got an SA250 right there, but I've been doing this for 21 fucking years. I've got some shit. I've got tools out the ass. I could make gang boxes for days, yo. I've got a few gang boxes, and shit just to cruise over the years, over time, to get to a job, you're like, fuck. I forgot that. I need it. So you run to the store and you buy another one. And then now you end up with 8 of them because you did that several times. And then you buy a weld machine. And then you buy another weld machine. And then you realize, damn, I got all these expensive ass weld machines. And these 110 machines, like my 110 Meg that I bought from Harbor Freight, has been doing it all, man. It's crazy. I bought that shit for $350 in 2021. So you can start cheap, you can start small, and work your way up. I got lucky, started out as a helper, had people that were willing to teach me. And now I have a 6-figure job where I like 6 figures at 40 hours, dog. No overtime. All right? I work 6 to 3 every day all year. I'm still gonna make over 100 G's. But with the overtime and with everything, you know, with that, it's a damn good wage, yo. And I ain't busting my ass. So follow along. We can get there, man. We can get there. You can be making 6 figures. It's not that hard. You just gotta have dedication, put in the time, a little bit of who you know along the way, you know what I mean, helps you, networking skills. But we're gonna talk about all that. We're gonna do all that. You just gotta follow along. All right, talk to you later.